Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Madam 81, and I'm coming back with you again. This is an update on Sadie Roberts. Sadie Roberts, if you do not know, was very instrumental in making the African American Museum possible. She lived in Baton Rouge, and she had just died this summer. She had passed on, and this is an update to the what's been going on in the aftermath. It says Baton Rouge home of slain activist. Yes, she was murdered. Sadie Roberts-Joseph burglarized. Stolen items include a 60-inch television. This is by ABC News, and the article is by Christina. Carrega. It says, for the second time since community activist Sadie Roberts-Joseph was murdered over the summer, her property was disrespected. Police in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, were called on Wednesday to the home of the founder of the Odell Williams, now then the African American Museum, to discover it had been burglarized, ransacked, and a 60-inch television had been stolen. Robert Joseph's son, Jason Roberts, told ABC Baton Rouge affiliate WBRZ he was on a routine visit to his mom's home when he noticed that the back door had been kicked in. This should be the last place anyone should come to violate, he told WBRZ. It crushes us to know that someone came to this place. Robert Josephs was found dead, doused in bleach, inside of a trunk of her car on July 12th. The 75-year-old museum founder allegedly was suffocated by her tenant, Ron Bell, which I did a story on initially, who was $1,200 behind in his rent. The police say the 38-year-old Bell was indicted by a grand jury in November on one count of second-degree murder. Bell entered a plea of not guilty. If convicted, Bell faces life in prison without the possibility of parole, probation, and suspension of sentence. According to Louisiana law, weeks after Joseph's death, her museum on South Boulevard was vandalized, according to the Associated Press. And this is the Facebook tweet that went out. And these are the pictures, just some of the pictures of the property being vandalized. It says, to know she gave her heart to the city and the city ended up taking her life makes you wonder what more does she need to give, her son said. I can't think of someone who deserves respect more than my mother, who gave so much for the city. What more could you want from her? And that is the end of the article. This is Miss Roberts right there to the right. A picture that she took shortly before I believe she was murdered. Let's see. There was a video. Okay, here it is. I'm gonna try to see if it plays. If it don't, then I'll just continue with my commentary. But in another note, it's just very,
After thieves broke into the only sacred place his family had left to honor his beloved mother, community servant Sadie Roberts-Joseph.
Never had this problem before.
In the 2+ decades she's called this green North Baton Rouge house a home, neighbors have looked out for one another. Since her murder, Roberts says he would check on the house along with Sadie's sister, who lives on her street, and other family members. Wednesday, he got a sick feeling in his stomach when the back door was kicked in.
Ransacked the entire house looking for whatever, and just completely invading her space, which is completely unnecessary.
Inside, thieves took her 60-inch television, a laptop, broke figurines, and rummaged through her drawers and clothes.
The feelings are indescribable. To know that she gave her heart to the city, and then the city ended up taking her life, and it just makes you wonder, like, what more does she need to give? This should have been the last place that anyone thought to violate, and it just crushes us to know that someone came through her place.
Sadie Roberts-Joseph started the Odell S. Williams African American Museum in 2001. She was killed this summer, found in the trunk of her car. The man accused of her murder, Ron Bell, was behind on rent payments to Roberts-Joseph, according to investigators.
For someone who gave so much, what more do you need to take from her? I just want to know, when is it enough?
In August, we showed you vandals targeted her museum after her death, breaking things and tearing up the property.
With all this happening, man,
Her son had this message for the people responsible for getting into her house.
you don't get to just take and take and take. Especially when someone gives so much. There has to be a point where you learn to respect something, somebody. And I can think of no better person to respect than my mother for what she gave to this city. It's just literally, what more do you want from her?
Okay, and that is the end of that. That is the end of that video. Very tragic, very heartbreaking. A woman that has dedicated her life to pursuit of knowledge of our culture, the African American culture, and what it means and what it meant to her. She displayed, and people just tore it down like it was nothing, like it was not significant to them. And I think that speaks to a lot of today's culture. A lot of culture today is do as thou will, and no consequences, no repercussions. Nobody's off limit, not even children. And it's just sad that we live in this day and age, when we don't have respect for certain people, certain figures that has spent a lifetime trying to achieve and just give knowledge and praise in a society that looks at us as criminals, thugs, dirty, and all of the other stereotypes that you could think of that has been said about African American / Black, Asiatic, whatever you want to call yourself. It's just truly sad. But with that being said, please drop down in the comments. Please let me know your feelings on this. It's a tremendous loss.